What's good, people of the internet? Back at it again with another video, and today we're talking about restructuring your water, the importance of it, and how you can do it relatively easily right from the comfort of your own home. So, of course, naturally, water is occurring in a moving form. Water is intelligent. So, we would expect water to be moving when we come across it, right? So, on a given day, if you go see water on Earth, it's always moving. So, whether it's coming out the sky or whether you're getting it from a river or even in a lake, the water's always moving, even if it's subtly, whether you go to a creek or a waterfall or what have you. Now, that shows very clearly that water is a living intelligence. So if water is living, we got to recognize that when water is sitting still for a long period of time, we can basically call it dead because it was once living, but now that it's sitting still, when something dies, it doesn't move anymore. So the intelligence decreases in it. So the problem is nowadays we are drinking water a lot of the time out of bottles, and the bottled water doesn't even have any kind of intelligence anymore because the bottled water the water has been captured and it's been sitting in bottles for Lord knows how long, for long periods of time. So now the water doesn't have as much intelligence, so it can't serve our bodies in nearly as much of a facet that it could. So we have to take an extra couple steps or so to make sure that this water is still intelligent when it comes into our body in order for our body to be able to utilize it, so that it's not just us drinking dead water and our body just passing it through because there's nothing to reap benefits from. So just putting this into perspective, the easiest way for you to restructure your water is with magnets. So I got a few examples here. I just bought some little magnets from the store. These are called button magnets. Okay, literally cost like $1 in the arts and crafts section. You can keep these magnets. The point is you want to repel them, so you want them to be in a repellent fashion. So if you have the north and the south side of the magnets, which ideally you should be able to identify which side is the north and which side is south. And of course, you want to find the ones that are repelling. So when you put the magnets close to each other, you should feel them pushing against each other. That's how you know you have them facing the proper direction. Okay, so what I do is I get a lid. This is just from like a soda bottle. Even though personally I don't drink soda, I just empty the soda can or the soda bottle, and I put a hole right in the middle. Okay, so once you put that hole right in the middle, you put the magnets on the side. You see I super glued the magnets to the side of it. That way I could just connect this to the top of my bottle, and then I could very easily restructure the water. So I'm gonna show you that right now. So here's my example with a bottle of water. This is a brand of water that I personally favor. Make sure that when you're doing this, there's not only a hole in the top, but also a hole in the bottom of the bottle so that you can allow the air to flow, because if there's no airflow, it's not going to exit properly. Okay, so clog the hole, because of course the water is going to come out the bottom if you don't. And I just put some water in here, try not to spill it all over the place. And then once there's enough water, I'll be able to show you how to vortex it properly in order for it to hydrate you to its much higher potential. So what I'm going to do is, got a cup right here, too much water in it, so now some's gone. All right, so now that we have this bottle right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin the bottle in a way that, of course, whenever you're spinning something clockwise, it's like you're receiving from it. Okay, when it's counterclockwise, you're pushing it out. So clockwise would be the feminine energy, okay, pulling something inwards. And of course, since you want to get benefits from the water should be going in a clockwise form. But you can do this in both ways depending on how many times you restructure it. But normally I just do it one time, but you really should do it as many times as you want to, or as many as possible, because the more times you do it, the more restructured the molecules of the water get. So when I spin it, I can spin it, and you see how the water immediately starts to vortex, and you see the water coming out. As it creates that funnel, it's restructuring it, and it's doing like this double helix type of thing, basically. So as this water comes out, it's a lot more intelligent now. So now it's as if I got this straight from the river. So whenever I finally drink this, it's amazing feeling the difference. I literally, as soon as I drink this water, it gives me a shock, or should I say a surge of energy, because now it's like more electricity is in the water or something. It's pretty amazing, and I definitely advise that you try this yourself. There are many other ways to do this though. I do it also another way, which is a more expensive route. I designed my own mechanism with a copper pipe. I just went to the hardware store, bought a copper pipe with a lid on it. I bought the cap to it. I drilled some holes in, I mean, obviously I drilled some holes in it. And then I just put some really heavy duty magnets. Now, of course, the stronger the magnets, the better. So if you can find some super mega powerful magnets, use the most powerful ones you can get your hands on. So these are the strongest ones they had in the store. Cost me like $50, but hey, can you put a price on your own health, really? All right, so now I just put the lid on and use this as a filter in a way, and it's basically a bigger version of this water bottle. So whenever I do vortex the water, it's the same concept, but instead of putting the water straight into the cup, I would put it through here also. And then what I do is I put a number of crystals on the inside of it. So I have countless crystals. Like I've got everything from pyrite to this quartz to the black tourmaline. I mean, I've got so many crystals here, I don't even know the name of all of them. I got shungite, fluorite, I got jaspers, different kinds of jasper. I mean, aventurine, you name it. I even got a really big amethyst over here, and I wrapped it in copper wire because it promotes the conductivity of the electricity, which is why I'm using a copper wire or a copper pipe here, because copper is very good for you. That's why you see people with like copper infused socks or copper infused bracelets, copper bracelets. Copper is just very good for you as far as conducting your health and well-being. Okay, do your own research on copper, and that's a whole another video for another time. But to continue on telling you about how I restructure my own water, I'm gonna just show you one more example. I just pour a little bit from here, still got a little bit left. It's just for the sake of the example. I would normally take my time and talk to the water and ask the water for something specific, but this is obviously just for the sake of educational purposes. So I'm not gonna get that deep into it because this is just the example. But when I'm doing this for myself, I make this a very sacred time for myself. So I take it very seriously. I ask the water for something. I would basically make it a form of a ceremony in a way, because you should respect the intelligence that water is coming with, because this is just like a simple thing. Water is one of the most intelligent things on the plane of Earth. That's why water has the ability to not only help things survive, but also to destroy things. For example, it can help you survive if you drink water, but if you drink too much of it, it'll kill you. Or you could drown in it. Or it could cause a flood and cause a catastrophe, or what have you. Anything that is very powerful has the ability to build things up or tear things down. So just keep that in mind. Now, I accidentally just knocked the magnets off of here because I got too heavy-handed. So I'm just going to use this other lid that I used. But it doesn't fit on the bottle entirely. But I'll be able to hold it on in order for you to still get the example across. But basically, when I put all of these crystals inside, I would put all of these crystals, obviously they would have to be the proper size to get in here. So I would fill this up with crystals all the way to the top. You can get a shorter pipe if you want, if you don't have that many crystals, but the more crystals, the better. Because what's happening is the water is going across all these different curves, and all of these different adjustments are having to be made. When you look at this crystal, for example, you look at this amethyst, there's so many different curves and crevices and sharp points and jagged edges and whatnot in it. That is making the water more intelligent, because basically the water has to make adjustments very quickly. And anytime somebody has to adjust very quickly, it makes you, say, like lighter on your toes. It makes you lighter, more intelligent. Somebody's more agile, they have the ability to maneuver a lot better, so it will make them more clever. That's why people who got like more street smarts, normally the reason why is because they've been put in an environment where they have to think on their toes a lot, aka they have to think quickly and efficiently and effectively in order for their own survival. So that's why all of this is increasing the intelligence of the water. So just to show you the example, I just get some water here, try to keep this in the frame because, well, I got a lot going on with all of these mechanisms. But I just put the lid, I put the magnets at the bottom, and then I would, of course, spin the water again. You see, whenever I spin the water, just to show you, whenever I spin the water, it naturally will give itself a form. So whenever I'm doing that, it'll give itself the form, and then the magnets basically force all the other molecules, or all of the molecules, into a specific direction. That way it's all going to a higher intelligence at the same time. It's kind of like on the same wavelength, because water has individual properties just like everything else does. Like, we are one whole body, but within this whole body we have individual blood cells or what have you. So it's one body of water, but it's still individual molecules of water. So when you look really closely as you're vortexing it, you actually be able to see the really small, it looks like a bunch of little dots, like all the small molecules, and they will be spinning and actually like repelling each other. It'll be like two of them will line up like this, and then they'll spin around each other, and it'll go all the way down. It's kind of like with a strand of hair. When you twist your hair, it's just like multiple strands going around itself. And that's why, for example, somebody with a hairstyle like this, usually we have access to different levels of intelligence and whatnot. But that's another video for another time. So talking about hair would be another thing. So if you want me to make a video talking about hair, we can go there too. But real quick, vortex in the water. Okay, so it's coming down, and you see the water will come down. I didn't put my crystals on the inside, but it'll go all the way down. I just made a huge mess. You see, I got love for you guys because I'm just risking everything as far as my electronics for the sake of knowledge and intelligence. So make sure you give me the thumbs up button. That could be a good repayment for this, and subscribe if you haven't already. But that's basically it, guys. When you do that, you can test it yourself. When you taste this water, you drink it, it literally makes the water wetter, so it'll be more hydrating. And I mean, you're gonna feel a heck of a difference. I guarantee it. So if you got any questions, make sure to leave them in the comment section below. And until next time, y'all, have a great one.